One sec. Hello, my fellow comic book collectors. It's Alan, the comic collector geek, and I'm joined with my friend Steppo, Collecto6, Warmonger, and many other aliases. Um, and he was the victor against almost an impossible foe. I don't know how he could, be victorious over such an amazing collector, but somehow he managed to do it.
I think it was the craziness that did it for me. I think it was the out of my head, the
Mm.
laughing and the crying hysterically, which,
Yeah, they
of
felt
course,
sorry for you. It was like
well,
the pity
no,
vote.
no. I
No, the
generally
pity vote. Oh, that's what it was. The pity vote. I didn't even think about that. So
that's the only possible explanation.
it's
And
only,
what was the score again? I can't remember.
I think maybe they got the names mixed up. So that's why I don't know. Something didn't make sense. So
Yes, I got a bulletin that it was out of the 5. I beat you 4-1.
4-1. I know it was brutal, actually.
Do you know what I was
Um,
also do you know I was making ground on you on the AF-15 as well? It was down to 48-52.
oh, really? Oh, I
Yeah,
didn't know that. I didn't know
I
that.
was making ground on you on the AF-15. If it had gone
Wow.
another 3 days, I would have swept you.
Yeah, if you just had a few more family members, they would have been. You could have
Well,
gotten.
I was waiting for the foreign vote to come in for you, and I asked my family, I
Yeah,
said, "Listen, I don't I don't stand a chance. If his extended family comes in, I'm done."
well, I actually asked Ricky if they could stop the counting at 3 a.m. and then they would be like all of a sudden the vote would change, but didn't happen. So oh
Well,
well.
the other thing that I wanted to say to the audience too
Hmm.
is that we had concession speeches and victory speeches that we
Yeah, they
also
were
taped
good.
with Rick, and they were very, both of them, both winning and losing ones were very good. We
Yeah, they were funny.
and they were very funny, especially, and I alluded to this earlier. Alan's
Mhm.
ones were great because they were his premise worked both ways. So he said, the $1.99 thing didn't do what it said it was supposed. I spent $1.99 and it didn't do what it was supposed to do. And then the other one, he says, the $1.99 was the thing that made the difference.
Yeah,
That was the best $1.99 I ever
that
spent. It
makes
was
sense.
really, but he put on the Mookie faux
Yeah,
feisty
but
Judah man
yeah,
thing. It was so funny. I truly, and of
but
course they mute you. What Ricky does, he mutes the other guy
mhm.
while the guy is doing his thing, and I am absolutely cracking up as Alan is doing his speech.
Oh,
Because if he
by the way, so okay, I gotta get the chat here. Okay,
okay,
so Kay Munin says good evening. And
good
it's his
evening,
birthday. It's his birthday, so happy birthday to
happy
you.
birthday.
And it's Andres, right?
It's
Andres.
Andres. How old are
Yeah.
you? How many times has the Earth revolved around you?
So yeah. So and then it's Matt's here.
Hi, Matt,
Epoch is here.
Mr. Epoch.
And yeah, so very cool. So yeah. So yeah. We'll see how old he is in a second here.
If you guys do want to go and check out, if you haven't already, to check out the competition, it really is a fun thing to do.
Yeah.
And I will say that I thought that ours
Was the best.
was the most entertaining. Seriously, because I think both of us, not only did we bring very good books, not that the other people didn't,
Mhm.
uh, but not only did we bring really good books, but we both took on personas, and we did not break character at all. We stuck with our characters straight through. We did
Oh, happy 35th.
35.
Wow. Okay. Just a young lad.
Congratulations, 35.
Mm. And hi, Dart Fluke.
Dart Fluke.
That's a really interesting name.
Like
From
it's
Eastern
like
Canada.
Darth Vader and Luke, Dart Luke,
Dart Fluke.
Dart Fluke.
Yeah, I don't know. So that's an interesting one. So yeah, I thought we did a good job of maintaining our personalities. So yeah.
Alan did better. I'm sitting in this chair and I'm weaving around and stuff in the chair.
Mhm.
Alan, on the other hand, is on
I was
his
like
feet
jumping all over the
and
place.
he's jumping all around and he's coming close to the camera and he's going like this and he's going. I'm going to. Hey, I have the power. It was I enjoyed Alan's performance very
Oh,
much.
thank you,
I
thank you.
truly did,
You're being
and I
nice.
will say this in all candor. I
Mhm.
really thought that it would probably have gone. I truly thought it was going to go his way, Alan's way, and
Yeah, I mean that's what your prediction was, but I
I
actually
was
thought
my prediction.
I thought you showed some strong books. So I think people were impressed by the books, and they said, okay, these are ones that you don't see that often. The Contact. I mean, I admit that's a cool book. I give you that. I say it's a cool book.
Captain Arrow or Contact? I didn't do Contact. Captain Arrow?
Captain Arrow, Contact. They're
Yeah,
both the
LB
same
Cole.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah,
LB
yeah, yeah,
Cole. Yeah.
yeah, yeah. It's both the same idea where he did these weird sci-fi things at the very end of the.
Yeah,
Um,
all the way to the end, and then at the last gasp, there it was.
so yeah, Matt is right. I was winning for the first 3 days, and then there was some shenanigans. I don't know what it was, but something happened.
Well, it was the Virgin Islands, the Virgin
Virgin
Island
Islands
boats
vote.
finally came in, and then Alaskan Samoa, American Samoa, and all that other
American Samoa.
came in, and I have many contacts there.
Yeah, actually, it's really funny. I don't want to go political, but I thought this was funny. DC had their the primary vote for Trump or Nikki Haley.
Yes, and
Nikki
Nikki
Haley won.
Haley won hands down with all the Democrats.
That's so funny. I just think I actually wouldn't, if I was her, I wouldn't want to win that because it just looks like you are.
Well, what it is it's obvious what it is.
Yeah.
And she's saying the people have spoken. You go, you're a horse's ass.
It
I
was
mean,
funny
come
though.
on. And Donald will have great fun with that.
Oh
Says,
yeah.
yeah, did you see that Nikki took Washington D.C.? Yeah, those are all the people I'm gonna fire when I get back in there.
Basically, yeah. So I thought that was funny.
It was very
Yeah.
funny.
So back to non-politics. You have some books that I think you got. I think you
I
got one or
got
two
some
books. You
books.
said one or two books.
I got some books in, and I thought that the mail would have come by now because I do know I've got a few more things
Yes,
coming in the
only
mail.
when it was the only one that she had.
Oh, she's been shelled all the way
She's
through.
been,
She's and it's Alex. She's in, and I want to know we're on the way. And Donald comes on. He says, let me see her. I beat her 70-30, and
yeah,
she's
it's really
coming on
close.
at
Really close.
70-30. It's just like it's almost like Baghdad Bob in Iraq when the tanks are
Mhm.
rolling in. We're winning, and American tanks
It
are
just
rolling
rolls
in
right over
behind
them.
him. It's just that the lot. It's she really has to get over it. I mean, come
Yeah,
on, really.
she's hoping for a weird win.
Well, you know what she's done. What she's done
Mhm,
here, and then we'll get off it. But what she's
mhm.
done is she is so completely and totally alienated the base of the Republican Party that if she runs again, she won't get to first base. She literally will not. She has killed herself.
It has 18 votes, just so you know. But yeah, I don't know. I'm a Canadian and I know all this stuff. It's
Well,
like,
it is in the news now, and things
mhm,
have been so god awful here in the United States. Truly, under the leadership, our
mhm,
current leadership, it's in every department, in every sector, in every facet. It has been
mhm,
absolutely awful. And I have personal stuff that happened to me personally in my life with regards to um, uh, implementation or usage of services and what have you that my wife and I have paid in our entire lives to
mhm.
have, and then to have other
Oh yeah,
people
the
coming
value
in and
time.
sucking it
Mhm,
all up. It really has been. It's been truly terrible, and
mhm.
people sort of gloss over it. Oh well, gee whiz. But if you look around, things are messed up,
Mhm.
and so a change has to come, and a change is coming,
Yeah, I
and
think so too.
so
Oh well, so back to funny books. Um, you got a bunch of packages.
I
Actually,
got.
can you do the Zombie Tramp stuff first? I know everybody's excited about Zombie Tramp, especially me. So,
I will go get a stack. I'll tell you, for the people.
mhm,
Yesterday, my good friend Big B McFly, the comic guy, drove in from secret places unknown from great distances to
mhm,
come visit me. And many years ago, my friend Alan was extolling the virtues of Zombie Tramp, and I said, I pled innocence and ignorance. And I said, "What is it about?" And he says, "Well, it's just really fun stuff. Good girl, but it's a zombie, and it's great, and it's everything, and
Yeah,
it's
yeah.
sexy, and all this." And so I said, "Well," I said that is kind of cool. And then over the intervening months and years, how many years have we
Mhm.
known each other, Alan?
I think only
2
2 years.
years.
Yeah.
Over the intervening days, as
It
they are, and
does.
they are many, and we do converse.
Feels
Uh,
longer just because of the company.
it would. Now wait a minute. Let me think about that. And he comes in there, and God, that's the clock stops. It's awful. Look at the time. But he warmed me up to Zombie Tramp, and Brian, in one of his sojourns out into the wild,
Mhm.
found an out of the way bookstore wherein, and it was a little old lady ran it, and then with her
There's a
daughter or
little old
whatever,
lady with
a
zombie
little old lady, and the little old lady really liked the naughty books. And
Mhm.
so she bought naughty books like Zombie Tramp. And because of, because she couldn't have them out for kids to look at them, they were
Mhm.
sequestered and put away. And therefore, no one saw them, no one touched them, no one did anything. They just
Mm.
sat there. And so Brian was looking through, and he said, "Can I look through?" "Yes, come on, look." And he said, "Oh, you have all these zombie tramps." And she said, "Yeah, in this other room here, we have this big box of them." And he said, "Oh, could I take a look at those?" And so he went in, and then he bought everything early that they had, which are very hard to find. And
Mhm.
then later in the run, which is also very hard to find, the print runs are virtually nil.
Yeah, I mean, I
Um,
think even the highest point it has maybe 5,000 per issue kind of
I mean,
level. It's like,
and 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 then there's the regular version, and then there are the risque versions. And the risque versions are the ones where all the notoriety and what have you come, and the regular ones are kind of are sexiful as well.
yeah, is a fun character, but I
She
don't
is.
actually. Yeah, I mean, it's just
No, but animate, but and he draws his characters. He does not. I don't believe he's a computer generator, is he, Alan?
no, 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 no. He
He's
isn't. He
pen and ink.
yeah,
See,
pen
now
and ink.
I don't mind the sort of AI. I won't say AI, but I don't really mind the computer stuff. I do prefer pen and ink. I really do. I think if someone's
Mhm.
on a computer, it seems like it's cheating. They're absolutely fastidiously perfect. They work them over, and they have all
Yeah,
the
yeah.
brushes and things they can do.
You
But
need that little bit of flaw just to give it some
I like
character.
to see that it's real. I mean that
Mhm.
it's not ersatz. And says, I'd like to buy some original art." "Well, there isn't any." "I'll
Mm.
send you a chip." "Well, I don't want a chip. I want some original art."
Yeah.
I will get a clump of the books.
Okay. And what will I do?
What'll I do?
Uh, what can I show when you guys when you're doing that? I should show something or other. I feel like there's something I should show. I have like a whole bunch of books around me, but I don't want to show them because they're all stuff that's uh meant for later days. So um
Well, Alan, you have so much stuff coming. Don't you think you can have not be a little bit nicer to us poor little church mice so we can see some of this stuff?
no, no, no.
You city mice have all the fun stuff and blah
Mm.
blah blah.
Yeah, so I kind of want to save it. Like this next unboxing I think will be fun. So it's actually kind of cool. I didn't like, when I take all those books out of those big boxes, right? And I just randomly kind of put them into piles, right?
Hmm.
And I have no idea what's in each pile. But for some reason, there was like one big book per video where it was like like I literally showed like a whole bunch of these anime comics or whatever like it's like animation like anime plus DC universe kind of stuff, right? And
Hmm.
then at the end of that, it just happens like, oh, this is a Grail book, just happens to be in the same pile. It's
Yeah,
like,
it's
it
Mutt and
doesn't
Jeff,
make any sense.
Mutt and Jeff, Mutt and Jeff. Startling 49.
Yeah, so it was really funny. So it was like that. But majority of the stuff was Golden Age. Like pretty much like there was only one section that was like more modern, the anime thing, which had cool covers actually, but majority of the stuff is like a lot of pulps actually. I didn't realize how many pulps I bought. I bought at least 20 pulps.
You did.
Yeah, I didn't even
Now,
realize I bought that many pulps.
I want to say here that Alan is far more frugal shopper than I.
Yeah,
He beats the brush to find this stuff, and he makes offers on these, and he's content
I
to
try to
let
get
it.
every penny.
Well, no, yeah, he gets everything out of the pig except the squeal. Um,
Mm,
but the idea where he finds these bulk lots. For example, he has some Bill Ward stuff coming. He's gotten
I
two
know.
huge chunks of
Huge,
Bill Ward.
huge
I'm
selections.
buying them one at a time. He says, "Look, I just got these 50 copies. And, for how much? It's 1750." And I go, "What?"
Yeah.
So
No,
he
like
finds
normally
them.
you pay about $50 an issue is
Yeah,
typically. I was
35
getting
to
them.
50.
Yeah,
35 to
I
50.
and I got almost 50 issues for $7 a piece.
It's just all clicks and whistles here. But with the pulps as well. But of course, when I bought because I bought Weird Tales on my pulps,
Mhm.
the word was already out on them. Speaking of pulps, have you seen the number of posts now on
Yeah, I've been
Instagram with
watching.
all these pulps coming out and
Yeah,
slabbed,
yeah.
and here are these, and then making offerings of pulps that are slabbed
I
as well as
I
raw.
started seeing eBay listings. Now, here's actually some big news. Big news, guys. When we watched that video with the guy from CGC, right? They said that
Matt
there would be
Nelson.
no Matt Nelson. They said that there wouldn't be restored pulps, that it would just get a blue label, right?
Hmm. Hmm.
That's not true.
They have
There,
purple labels now.
I've seen a whole bunch of purple label pulps.
Well, something happened. I didn't
Yeah.
know that.
So I was like, oh my goodness, there's a whole bunch of like every pulp, like the ones all on eBay are all these purple labels.
Well,
So
now,
I can give you some
but
listings
maybe it was
for it's
just
really
okay.
good.
Then my
It
question.
might be color touch or it might be
Okay, no,
something
that's what
not the
I will get
trimming.
to. I was going to
So
say, but for trimming, what they said they would do is they would, if they were trimmed, that they would.
Alex's slab pulp.
Yes, I
No,
have.
I didn't
Alex the
see
Comic
Alex's.
Quarter.
Yeah,
Alex
I
the
didn't
Comic
realize he
Quarter.
got a bunch.
He's been doing, and it was the first 5 Marvel pulps.
Yeah, the
That all
amazings, the
predate Marvel
amazings.
Comics number
Yeah, the
one.
amazing stories. Yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah, but Marvel,
Oh, he also has the
Marvel.
Marvel Tales
No,
or
no, not
something.
Amazing Stories. No, Marvel. The very first
Yeah,
5
the
Marvel pulps.
Marvel, whatever it's called. Yeah, Marvel.
They're
It's just
green with a
Marvel something.
beautiful
Yeah, yeah,
trade
I know the
dress.
ones. I
Yeah,
remember him seeing. I remember him showing those when they were raw,
they're all
and then
fours. Four,
yeah.
four,
Oh
five.
wow.
All of them were fours and four fives, and they were all beautiful.
Yeah. So yeah. I think they just meant that only the trimming would not get a purple label,
That's
but
what I was just,
I
Derek.
guess
That's what I was
color
just.
touch
I was
and
just in my inimitable way trying to say that I believe that trimming is allowed because it's considered de rigueur, and so then they
mm,
would say, but they would note on the blue label that it had been trimmed, and the grade would be adjusted
is
accordingly. But the
slightly lower.
information, the meeting of the minds as far as that it had been trimmed would be on the label. But if there are purple labels, that means people have been mucking around with the pulps too.
Which is weird because I always thought the only like they wouldn't do that. Really. Why would you bother? Like it's a pulp at the end of the day, right?
Obviously the thought was money, money, money. I mean, that's what it
Yeah,
has to
make it
be.
look better, do a little bit of color touch, maybe some glue. I mean, I can see that like the pulps, they're glued. The spine is like just glued on, right?
Horse
So
glue or
generally,
whatever they used in the
yeah,
day.
so what they could do is like I've seen this actually where people with pulps if the cover's kind of detaching, you can put just a little bit of glue down along the spine and then kind of press it in so that it's kind of stuck again. It's hard to detect that, but I guess you could see it clumping or something like that. Maybe I don't know.
I am blissfully unaware of the manner in which they would use to detect that. I remember back in the day that what people would do
Hi,
would use
Pocket Full of Comics.
hello pocketful. Um,
Mm.
that they would use a toothpick, and they would
Hmm.
use Elmer's glue, and
Yes.
then they would take a tiniest little bit of the glue, and then they would very, very carefully spread it very, very, very gently, and then very carefully push the thing down. And
Hmm.
I don't know how you could actually determine if any of that had
Well,
been
that's
done.
my point. Like, it'd be really hard to detect that. Now, because it is a different type of glue than the pulp companies would use, maybe that's how they're detecting it. I don't know if that, I don't even
Maybe
know if that's
maybe
what the
Elmer's
pulp,
maybe Elmer's glue fluoresces. I mean, I have no
who
idea.
knows, who knows, but I always wondered about that with split spines. If you could just, use the slightest amount of glue and just get those spines to, you know,
Glue on spine, though, they see it.
they
Glue
see it.
on
Yeah, they do
spine.
see it. Yeah, I've seen it many
And of
times.
course, and most of the time, if it was done and it was older, the glue over decades, of course, has discolored and what
Yeah,
have you, like
discolors.
just
Yeah,
like Scotch tape. Oh, I'll
and I
just
think
tape
that's
it
why
up.
that's one way that they could detect it if it was done on the pulps too. That it's like maybe discoloring. I don't know. I'm speculating. I just thought it was interesting that all the pulps that I've seen so far have been purple labels
I'll be damned.
on eBay. So that's like, but I just thought that was really weird. Like I was like, what? I thought this
Well,
was my, yeah.
the ones I got from that I also got from my comic shop.
Ding.
Um, that they would actually in the listings indicate whether or not any restoration had been done or trimming.
Hmm.
And so I avoided any that said either one of those things on every one that I purchased from them. And they are the only people I bought from, except for the Bat Lady I bought from David Alexander, and then I also bought one from another fellow that which is perfect.
Okay, if somebody put an extra staple on a book and you remove it, is it considered restoring? No. Also, if there's extra staples, sometimes that actually doesn't even count as restorations. They'll just denote that extra staples added, which I've seen on a blue label before. So it's really weird. Sometimes the what is considered restoration doesn't necessarily make sense.
Hmm.
But I have seen that where it'll be a blue label but says extra staples. Um, it's not. It's like extra staples added after production or something like that. It's like some weird explanation of it. So yeah. So oh, an angel gets its wings. Whenever somebody says the key word. Um so yeah. So the name that will
That's because of Mr.
right?
Akins. The credit
Yes.
where credit is due. That day was so funny because,
That was funny.
and
Well, you're
I
just
came
saying
in
it so
late.
much, right?
I came in late to the live feed,
Hmm.
and then I start saying the word that must not be said, and then this bell starts ringing, and I'm looking, and everybody's laughing. There are 4 or 5 people, and they're all cracking up,
Hmm.
and I go, "What am I missing?" And
Yeah,
then
yeah.
they said, because every single person that's come in here has said, "My comic shop, my comic shop, my comic
Hmm.
shop."
Yeah, yeah.
And so he had a school bell, a teacher's bell
And
there, because Mr. Akins is a teacher. So he started ringing the bell, and they always start laughing. So it's very Pavlovian dog kind of
yeah, yeah.
thing
We're
going
all
on.
salivating when we hear that word.
That was Mr.
Um,
Akins, though.
yeah, yeah. So okay, so I think we built up enough.
Okay.
And now we can get into Zombie Tramp because
All right.
everybody loves Zombie Tramp. They just don't know it yet. So
Alan wore me down. He got me. He basically was telling me about this, and he says, "It's wonderful. It's wonderful. Look at this. It's great." And I said, "Yeah, it's cute," or what have you. And then over the intervening weeks and days and months and hours and minutes, moments on the phone, zombie tramp, click.
no, you
um,
don't realize what I would do is have Susan whisper in your ear when you're sleeping.
that ex-
Zombie Tramp.
that explain. Anyway, so when I had the opportunity, because I had said to Brian, I said, Alan has finally FOMO'd me sufficiently about Zombie Tramp, and I know they're harder to get. So if for some time there's some find, well, he found. Now I don't know if this, Alan, you say this is close to being maybe not, but if it's too close, I'll pull it real quick.
Okay, yeah, it should be okay. That is actually one that I'm looking for.
Now,
That's
and here's the
Now
other
that's
thing.
the second series.
here is a book that
Or is that?
is drenched with Alan's tears, and I want you all to know that that makes this such a good friend.
What does it
Uh,
say? Does it say anything like what does it say? The issue
it
number.
says Alan cannot have this. It says
What?
this book contains frat brothers gone wild, more
No,
fetish
no. But does it
outfits.
say that issue number?
It says issue number 2 of 4.
Okay, that.
So this is the 4-part second. This is the second series, the second of the 4 parts,
Yeah.
and it's
So
and
that's
it's the risque version.
okay. That's interesting. So okay,
He's holding his head.
I gotta look something up. I gotta check my box here. One sec. You go. Keep on showing stuff. I'll be right back.
All right. I'm in the process actually of this is really kind of a cute. It is kind of a cute one, and this is 4 of 4. So this is the second series that only had 4 issues in it, and this is issue number 4 of the second series, which is the last issue of the second series. After the second series, then the ongoing run starts. So, but this is and the zombie tramp gal has, he sort of cuts some of the skin off, and she has no eyes, and she has little holes in her skin, and that's really about the size of it. But then she's, she kills the bad guys, and then she eats them, which is, it's a very nice, it has sort of a Chew, the comic book Chew feel to it. I mean, as far as that goes, very obliquely. But this is, and Dan Mendoza is the artist and creator of Zombie Tramp. Now, this one is a no. This is issue number, I believe this is issue number 1. Yes.
Wait. Okay. Okay. So you actually have something kind of odd. That is one that I was looking for.
Okay.
So that's actually the rare second series.
I have issue number 4 of the Hello, Bigby.
Hey.
Hey,
Hey,
so he's gonna get
how
me
are
in that
you?
quickly. Hi.
I am Alan. This was the second one that I showed. This is issue 4.
Okay, so that's actually a different series than the one you showed first.
No, this is
No,
issue
that's issue
4 of
4 of
4.
the
No.
4-part
So
It
miniseries.
says 4 of 4.
I know, but that's okay. So here's the weird thing. Okay, and this is something I only learned recently. There was
We
actually
looked them up.
okay, so there's actually 4 series for Zombie Tramp.
What?
It's
All right,
weird. There's
okay.
actually 4 series. So the first series had 3 books. Second series had 2 books. It was supposed to be 4, but it's only 2. Then there's 4 books for the third series, and then there's the ongoing series. The
Okay,
book
so
that you
that's
showed
book number
first,
4 of the third series then.
yeah, the first book, yeah, that's the third series. But there was actually a weird series that nobody knows about that you just happen to have the second book from.
Okay. Well, score.
So that's actually a really
wonderful.
rare book, super rare.
Thank you.
Yeah.
These 2 I can't show. These are both number 1s. They're both the same. I have 2 of these as well. This is the
Okay,
knot.
that's the fourth, well, what they call the 4th series now.
Yeah,
I
number
used to
1.
call that the 3rd series, but that book is super rare too.
That's the ongoing series.
The ongoing
And I
series.
have 2 of the risque copies of that too.
Okay, cool.
Here is issue, and then this is another one from number 1, a variant.
Oh yes, that's the hitchhiking one. That's what I call it.
That's what you said. You didn't have that one either, right now?
Yeah, I don't have that one either. That's another one I don't have.
And this is issue number 2.
Yep. That one always reminds me of Elvis.
Well, it does, supposed to.
It's totally Elvis.
Yeah.
And this is the naughty version of that one that you can't really see because I can't show it to you.
You zoom it fast.
And not only do I have one of them, not only do I have 2 of them, I actually have 3 of the risque.
Oh
versions.
wow. So
you
number
have,
2 goes for quite a bit of money too,
yeah, yeah. We had
Well, I
fun
didn't
looking
know.
them up.
I didn't know until we started looking up. We did our usual going to go collect. I'm looking them up, and I blithely am saying, well, a few bucks here and there, and then we start seeing the prices on these things. And I didn't know this about Brian, but he has this laugh. He has this laugh as something's going well. And then all of a sudden, there's this sort of bubbling laughter coming on as these books are going up. And I'm going, God, this is getting kind of expensive. And then it didn't get any better. It just got worse. It just got more and more expensive. And the laughter continued. Alan, you will be very happy. I know I was, and not only was it Alan's tears, it was Stephen's tears too.
Okay, yeah, that's good.
Here is issue number 3.
Oh yes, yeah, the wedding cover, the satanic wedding or something. It looks like a upside down cross.
And here is issue number 4.
Okay, I'm not. Yeah, that's right. That is issue 4. Yeah, I was trying to think if it was the.
I'm just reading the numbers that are on the book up at the top.
Yeah. That's number 4. Yeah, I had to think about which.
These books, I've purchased enough collections before that when you can always tell if a book had basically somebody put it in the bag, sealed it up, put it in a box, and then left
it. Yeah,
because there's none of the bags aren't aren't distressed, that they aren't torn, the foldovers aren't all torn and haggard. It's all just from sitting without even being. I mean, these really are just beautiful they're untouched, basically.
Mhm.
They're untouched. Here is issue number 5.
Okay.
I had a blast going through all that stuff with you, Stephen.
So how many
I-
volunteers did you get?
I've got a slew.
I think there were 57 issues, 56 issues, something like that.
pushing 60 or so.
Yeah.
Wait. 50, like, so the whole run, basically? Like, that's like the
No,
first...
there's like on some of the books there's 3 and 4 variants, So he wanted all of the variants and
I went up to about issue 39 or 30. What was it, Brian?
30. We went up to 30 and we got the holiday specials.
All the variants, all of the limited editions, all of the extras. I mean, all those, because they were all there. Hello.
Are you on a live stream?
I am.
Hi,
Okay.
Susan.
Hi, Susan. Brian's here.
Hi, Susan.
Hi, Alan.
Would you keep an eye out for the mail for
Yeah.
Rose? Thank you. Here is issue number 5, and it says 5V. I don't know whether there's a little V by it.
That's the variant. Yep.
Variant. Yeah, that's a nice one.
Was this one a variant too? No, this is the standard.
Regular. That's the regular.
That's the regular there. And this is here is a variant.
It's actually a hard collection to get all the issues from.
Well, and that's the reason why when I had asked Brian, I said, if you come across something like that, Alan has finally, the tendrils of his Canadian problem has visited me, and he says, hey, I found some, and I said, well, I mean, let's go. And so this is the regular one for number 6.
Oh,
Did you explain your phrase of the second bite is always the worst?
Oh, sure. Whenever to all collectors, I have learned this the hard way. I would have you profit from my experience. I found that when I would go and a collection would come in to, like, say, an LCS, or you're buying from an individual who happens to also sell or whatever. Let's say there's this beautiful run of books, and you go in, and then what you do is you're sort of picky, and you do this and that. You pick and pick and pick, and then you haggle and haggle and haggle for the first deal. Well, the guy is interested at the beginning to give you a deal because you're buying a bunch of stuff. So you make your buy, and then you get home again. You're sorting them out, and then you start thinking about it. God, I probably should have gotten that other one. That really wasn't that bad. I didn't. Yeah, I'm going to go back. So you go back to make a second deal, a second bite of the apple, without exception. Absolutely. Gentner's axiom number 4. It will cost you more for the second bite of the apple. So whenever you are confronted with a big collection, as much as to the point of pain, buy everything you think you want, everything. Don't come back for the second bite, because you're going to get waxed with the second one.
Because
So
I bought the rare the naughty variants of number 1 and one of the regular number 1s the first time, and then I sent those to Steven, and she gave a great deal. And then when I came back, she wasn't so happy.
no, she tried to put the screws to him, and it made the dealing that much more difficult. And then Brian had to
Had to
strong
get her daughter involved.
Well, she was only about 75 pounds, and Brian said, "Let's talk about this." Okay. But anyway, but the second bite of the apple was more tenuous and more difficult and more expensive. So I will just say,
It wasn't more expensive, but it was more difficult.
well, the deal was not as easy. For me, it was more expensive. For me, it actually was.
For you.
And listen, when we are going along, there's another thing too. You bought, Brian, you bought a Silver Age collection just now, didn't you?
Yeah, I'm supposed to take possession of it today, but it's not happening right now. So
all right.
the elderly lady who has the books is not answering her phone. So hopefully that's not a bad sign.
Well, I hope so.
The best wishes to her. But so we're waiting to hear back from her. Her son is trying to get a hold of her. So
I'll tell you, Brian finds the stuff. He found the 24/7 collection. He found this collection for me. He's got another thing going on, and these are only the things we see. God knows what he's got at home. Okay, so here is issue number 7. Here is issue number 8, variant. Are you there,
It's 11.
Alan? Did
Alan.
Alan?
Did we lose Alan? Perhaps he's looking to check to see what variants.
I muted myself because I was cleaning up.
You're cleaning up? Okay.
Yeah.
He muted himself because it was Alan's tears were happening.
Alan's tears. Yes, this is
I made a big mess because tears everywhere. It was just, it was not a good thing.
Oh, I feel so much better. Oh, it's wonderful.
I never get good collections like this. Okay, go ahead.
Yes, you do. I just praised you for it. All that Bill Ward. Come on, I sing your praises. I'm the only idiot that buys retail. Okay, so here is the variant for number 10.
Bit risque, but okay, we'll go with it.
Did you lead into like how she had originally been pricing and how she had changed her tune? She had originally been pricing all of her books according to Mile High's catalog.
Oh gosh, that's right. I forgot to say that.
I didn't mention that.
Yeah, she had originally been pricing all of her books according to the Mile High catalog, and her daughter runs the gaming and card side of things, and her mom runs the comics side of things. And she's like, I don't understand why we can't sell according to Mile High. And her daughter's like, we're out in the middle of nowhere. Mile High gets hundreds, if not thousands, of customers a week, and we are lucky to get 20 to 25 customers a week for comics. So you cannot, because people won't ask you about, lowering the price or anything. We cannot sell that way. So at the end during the
like her daughter.
At the end during the negotiations, she called her daughter. She's, look at what he wants to buy, and she's like, what do you think? And she's like, what's the offering? And I don't know if you want me to mention the price, Stephen, but
no, you mustn't.
I did. I put out a number, and the daughter looked at her mom. She said, Mom, these books have been here for over 10 years. She says they've just been sitting up in a box gathering dust. We have rent due. We have a new magic set coming out. Sell him the books.
I like the daughter.
Yeah, I like
and then the old lady. And then the
First
old
line
lady
inside.
very grudgingly came through. Is that right, Brian?
That is correct. She said, "Well, okay."
Here is regular issue number 11. Here is regular issue number 13.
See, I like those ones best. Those are the Dan Mendoza ones. You
I
can see
actually
the
think
different
that's the
styles.
risque version of that one.
No, it isn't. It's not. It doesn't say V and it doesn't say risque.
Oh, okay, I guess it's the regular one. Never mind.
It all says because usually it'll have a little notation.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
This is issue number 14.
That's cool.
Here's this is another issue number 14. This is the limited edition variant. This is poolside drinking out of a skull.
Yeah, I always like that one actually.
The sort of the pineapple drink with the paper parasol in it.
Yeah,
out of a skull.
See, that's Dan Mendoza. I like his stuff the best out of the zombie Tramp stuff.
There's a couple issues that have very realistic looking artwork too that I thought was nice.
And here is
Didn't own
issue
the
number
original.
15.
Didn't the original?
He lost the rights.
Yes, he lost the rights.
He lost
but
the
then he
rights to his
regained-
own character.
Yeah, he regained them later on, and now he's doing it as Kickstarters.
And this is issue number 15.
That is a risque one.
Sorry. Sorry.
Oops.
Those were pasties.
So that is a big chunk of them, Alan. I have another stack that's deeper than this. These are the ones I have not mylar'd. The other ones I have been mylar'd, but I wanted to start from the beginning to show to show all of the early goodness that I have. But you could see that just the way the bags are, the way they set up, they were just put away and just left. I mean, that's it. They were sleeved, tagged down, and that was it. And the prices on them were like even for the variants was like $295, $395, $450, things like that. But she had Granny had come back in later on and stuck labels on them for more money.
Well, if you use the Mile High pricing, which is usually crazy pricing, right?
Right.
Mile High is the worst for pricing.
They overgrade and so and of course our friend Joe from Black Box Silver and Bronze did that study where he bought.
Oh, hey, Biggie, Biggie. I always do that.
Hi, Big. Salutations. But
hi, Ozzy. By the way, sorry.
Hi, Ozzy. Basically, he then sent into the CGC based on the posted grades and the prices. And then he just says, I just paid full freight. I did everything, I bought everything just stand up. He sent them in, and with no exceptions, every exception, every instance, Mile High was overgraded and more expensive, and my comic shop
undergraded
was under, except for one, which was dead on, absolutely perfectly dead on. And it was like a half a dozen, 6, 7, 8 books.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
He says, I guess that answers the question. And when I had occasion to make my big purchase with them with regard to my Bat 1, I had in conversations I was having as I was asking, I actually, Chuck Rosansky, I met Chuck when I became an advisor to the Overstreet Price Guide. He became an advisor the same year that I did. So he was in the same class. There are some stories I could say, and I will not right here. But,
I know he's an interesting fellow.
He is an interesting fellow. So, perfectly nice, but there are things. But anyway, the upshot of it was when I was talking to these principals at my comic shop, they were saying that I said, I buy from you all the time because your prices are very competitive, and your books always are lower graded. I mean, you undergrade your books. And she said, we do that on purpose by half a grade, or it's sometimes a full grade, because this way two things happen. One, we generate a lot of goodwill with the buyer, and the second thing is that we don't get the trouble of having books returned to us all the time, and that of course is an expense and a problem and all of that. And by doing it this way, the people that are selling, the people who will sell, even if you put a consignment on it, they basically will, they run it, they say, look, this is what it is when we come in. And I think that the consignor has flexibility, but they kind of go along. But the other thing that I've noticed now, almost in everything now with them, is that they will put in the little yellow box where they have the price and the grade. They will say, our expert graders have graded this book.
Yeah.
So what you know then that it wasn't some guy in Tierra del Fuego put the grade on that book. It was the book came in, and those people there at my comic shop graded the book. And that is a great reassurance to me when I'm buying. And that's worth something, because it's almost like, and Alan said this, and I hope that you contact them for it. Alan said, would you, if they put a book into a slab at my comic shop and put a my comic shop label with the grade, would you buy a slab from my comic shop? I said, in a dead instant, I would.
Yeah.
Because their policy on grading is such that they would give you a good deal on a book. And I like that.
Conversely, though, would you grade your books with Mile High because they'd be undergrading your books? That's the other part.
No, we're talking with my comic shop. We pay for the slab, not the.
Well, I thought of it just as I was saying that. That they would, if they were going to grade the book, they wouldn't. I wasn't clear. That they would not undergrade your book, but that they would fairly grade your book. That it would be dead on, because on the raw books that they are selling, and then if it's slabbed later on and it comes back higher, there you go. But if they were going to offer a service to quantify books,
not as a Grail coming from my comic shop.
What do you have coming, Matt, or won't you tell? But if it's a graded book, then you could take it to the bank that the grading was accurate. That's what I'm getting at.
Yeah,
I probably screwed up my whole premise, but anyway.
Yeah, but my thing is, like, I would pay the extra just because, for me, I actually like having the slab just as a protection for some of the books that I'm getting. So I if it was an extra $15 a book, I would be glad to pay it. And since they've already done the grading, it kind of makes sense, right? It's like
it does very much so.
Action Comics 340 First Parasite, nice. That's a good book. I always felt like that book was a little bit underrated though, but it's a good book. Yeah. So I'm still I've unboxed all my stuff recently, so I'm just cleaning it up. It's a big mess. Here, I'll show you guys how much of a mess it was. So you see all the garbage bags and stuff, and the big box with all the stuff in it.
There it is.
There it is. There's mine. Yeah, there's yours. I actually have it handy too. If I wanted to, I could grab it too and just.
This one is at least a 9.4, probably a 9.6. This one I got. There was my comic shop, my LCS. My LCS got in, and it was a guy that was from Alaska, and in his basement, he had all these books, and he bought the Chris from I Like Comics bought the entire set from him, and it was one of those ones where they were all stacked up on the counter. I posted a picture of it on my Instagram.
Nice, still.
Basically, I went through, and that's one of the times. But with Chris, though, I didn't have the problem of getting the second bite of the apple, because he made me great deals all the way through, because we've done so much business together. I didn't get hurt. It's just that if you're dealing with strangers. So anyway, I'll put this away.
Stranger danger.
You're a stranger.
So Stephen, do you mind if I share the book I got from you for the deal?
Yeah. Show that. I'll go make you big there.
Okay.
Okay.
So at the end of the deal, we tallied up all of the haggling and finagling, and I got one book. Those zombie tramps were quite a bit more valuable than even I knew when I was getting them, and so I picked up this book from Steven.
You can take it out of the heavier mylar because that's sort of scratched. The inside mylar is clean. If you wanted to,
It's a beautiful book. Yeah, no, it's.
And you guys
It's
rated
an
it like an 8 or 9?
8.5 to a 9. We lean towards the 8.5 side, but there was speculation going on there. So
It's very, very nice.
but yeah, so first the Tana.
So that's a big Grail. That's a big
Yeah.
Grail to put off your list.
Yeah.
Are you going
And
for
then I
more
did some.
DC Grails, or what kind of books are you
I
going
just
for?
all of a sudden have started to get a lot of DC Grails. So I did some trading with my friend Travis this weekend too, and I got some DC big books. So I got two real high grade copies of that. One of them is a 9698, and the other one is a 9496.
Now, will you send those off to get graded at some point, or?
Thinking about it, yeah. And then also,
Karen's Pages is here. Hi, Karen.
Oh, hey, Karen.
Karen, you did a beautiful job on the Okajima.
Yeah, you did a
I
great
want
job.
to compliment you on that. I sent you a long letter on that. I'm Collecto 6, but I really was impressed with your research. Everything that you did on that was beautifully done and researched, and the graphing and all that other stuff and the different camps. I think that's great. I will be very interested to hear what kind of reception, and I asked at the time, what sort of reception have you got after doing that excellent research on the Okajimas?
Yeah, I mean, I even I did a video where I was commenting about that, her video where I linked out because I thought it was such a good video. Yeah, great job, Karen.
I'm sorry, Brian, I didn't mean to play through on you.
No, that's okay.
Karen, if you ever want to come on my channel, you
should, Karen.
Yeah.
He doesn't bite much.
Oh, I saw. Okay, yeah. Sorry.
It's okay.
Yeah. So she saw.
Thank you very much.
She saw your message, and she's going to reply soon.
Okay.
Thank you.
So, picked up a first Power Girl, signed by Mike Grail.
You know, the funny thing is that book has become super hot lately. Like, it's yeah. I keep on seeing it on my Comic Tom. They keep on going on about it. Why is this book so hot?
I got a lower grade X-Men 60.
Oh, nice. For Sauron.
Yeah. And then this one is a placeholder of my collection, but a lower grade X-Men 94. I'm working on that Claremont run. And then a nice high grade copy of Death Dealer #1.
That just came out recently, right? This
one is either early 2000s or late 90s. It's an older book.
Okay, I think I have that.
It's the first appearance of Death Dealer in comics. The square bound format book. And then a variant cover of Deadpool #1 from one of the more recent series, but it's Chris Bacallo, or Bacallo is how I pronounce his name. Bacallo, just about dropped it. Bacallo variant. It was like a 1 in, I forget. It's a limited one. And then a last one I got from Trav was a king size special Hulk #2.
That's really nice.
Yeah, so just some fun stuff there. And then I got a collection coming in from him as well. So, cool. That he found, but then he passed along to me, let me purchase it. So
very, very cool. Anything else you want to show?
There's a couple other things. Sure. So while I was at that shop, so recently they've got this Avengers Twilight series that came out. #1 is apparently very hot because it's the first appearance of Tony Stark's son after Tony Stark dies. And I was looking through. She always has, like I say, they don't get a lot of walk-in clientele. She's always got hot stuff on the rack, weeks and weeks later. And the hot cover that they show is the Alex Ross one. And I go, oh, they don't have the Alex Ross. And I'm flipping through, and I'm like, I go, oh, this one looks like Alex Ross. I pull it out, and I look at my phone. I start looking it up, and she had this $60 variant on the shelf for cover price.
Oh, nice. They don't seem like they really know their stuff as a comic shop.
They don't pay attention to what's going on with the market.
Hopefully, they're not watching this live stream.
And then I don't know if you guys are familiar with the new Edge of Spider-Verse book that has the Weapon 8 character, but she had 3 copies of that. It's like a $20 book.
Oh, nice.
Sitting on the rack. So it's like, all right, do you mind if I get these? Just, no, go ahead. It's like, all right. And then I picked this up from Travis also.
The one I want to get is the Wolverine one, but you should look for that.
I went to look. I was like, gosh, this is really late to look for that. And she's like, somebody just bought it yesterday. I was like, oh, no. It was on the rack for cover price still.
Oh, wow. So, what's that one?
This is Edge of Spider-Verse #3 Virgin variant. I forget the artist. Let's see.
I mean, it looks cool.
Yeah, it's not a super big key, but it's a limited edition comic mint Virgin edition. I thought it looked neat, and I like the Spider-Verse stuff, and so Trav and I did a little swapping on that. So there you go. And I also have Travis. I know you're probably not having tons of time tonight. You can take me off, big.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
But I don't have them up here, but I have two boxes of limited edition Good Girl variants and autographed and 1 in 100s and all that kind of stuff that I brought over to see them. But we were well.
I was so blown away by what transpired with the zombie tramps. Mm-hmm. He says, "Would you like to look at any of this other stuff?" Right? You crazy? You bring them back next time.
Do you want me to bring him back next time? Because that I was telling Travis, I'm like, oh, I'm just going to bring him back to you. I don't think Steven really wants to.
In fairness, I do have quite a bit of that sort of material.
Is it stuff that I would like?
I think it's stuff that you would like, Alan. So I was going to try to show it to you at some point. So
yeah.
I could run and get it if you would like.
It's up to you. I mean,
well, how much time? Well, let me just say, how much time do you have, Alan?
Well, the clock has reset, so I have 20 hours.
So, okay, so we can just run as long as we're going to run. Is that it?
So how much time do you have personally to?
Familial.
So personally wise, probably another half hour to 40 some odd minutes.
We'll do it on another day because it's like too short.
Oh, he's Biggie had the Wolverine.
Nice. Yeah. We'll do the Good Girl stuff on a different day because it's like 2 short boxes.
Okay.
Good Girl stuff.
It is packed. Moderns, yeah.
It's all modern stuff. It's David Nakayama's. It's Nathan Zerdy's. It's
I like the Zerdy stuff.
All kinds of limited edition stuff.
Zerdy is good.
Risque stuff or
somewhat. Yeah. It's all the
yes.
Curvy pretty girls.
Okay. I like curvy pretty girls. I mean,
yeah. So we'll do that on another day.
Okay, cool.
But yeah.
So Alan, I'm getting this stuff out to show.
Okay.
Did you have anything else that you wanted to show, or do you want me to show something?
I can show a couple books actually. And maybe
how nice of you to deign to show us some books.
Yeah. I'll show some of the books that were in this next unboxing. So I'll give you guys some hints on some of the stuff. Okay.
Cool.
Sure.
So I'm going to show a few things. Okay. So this little stack. Okay. So as I was mentioning, I picked up about 20 pulps because I've been sort of speculating that pulps are going to be, something that maybe I might get priced out of later on. And based on what I've been seeing on my comic shop, Here, I'm gonna mute you somehow. There you go. I muted you. I muted you, Steppo. So I'll unmute you later. Just because you're crinkly. So yeah, so I've been noticing that the prices have been going crazy. Like books that I was picking up for $50 to $100 now are like $500 to $600 for some of these pulps. So
Right.
and that kind of inspired me to pick up a bunch pretty early on. I was actually, so whenever you see any of these unboxings that I do, they're actually happening. I don't actually, I have a feeling, oh my goodness. I just noticed something weird about this one. Oh my goodness.
Is it a good weird or a bad weird?
Bad weird. I'll show you what I mean in a second. Okay, so I've been picking up a bunch of pulps, and this one is not what I expected. Okay, so this is Weird Tales. I
That's
didn't
pretty.
realize. Yeah, but I'm gonna actually open this up because I just noticed this. I didn't notice it when I unboxed it, but I noticed it now. I think they recreated the cover.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
You can even see. Look. So look, if
really?
you look closely at it, see how there's like they
Huh.
recreated
Do you think so,
the
or do you
cover.
think it's just got some staining going on?
No. It's see, look, I don't know, look, you can see. They put this thing over it. I'm not even sure why. It has the cover underneath it. But why would they
Oh,
they
oh,
put like
wow.
isn't that weird?
Weird tales.
Weird Tales. And this is a really great cover too. It's a Margaret Brundage cover. Oh my goodness. I
That's crazy.
almost have to steam it off or something.
Yeah. I wonder if it was just like the red had really faded or something. It looks like
Yeah,
it looks
several
like
times.
it's
Yeah.
seeped through though when you showed it. The red on the
Yeah,
inside
no,
is stained
it's
through.
definitely staying through. Oh my goodness. This is such a messed up one. I didn't realize. They didn't mention that in the listing, so
Huh.
yeah, that is really messed up. I don't even know why they did it. Like it doesn't even make sense. It's like the cover is there. It's like it doesn't. Why would
Right.
you do that? It's like really weird. That is, I don't get it.
Very bizarre.
Yeah, very odd. Okay, so yeah, I don't get that. So okay, I'll have to find out about that one. I'm gonna have to write to the person and say, hey, what's going on here?
What
Um,
the heck, right?
yeah, so that was weird. Okay, so that's one of the pulps that I picked up, which I'm not super happy with because there's some
You were happy with it until you saw that.
yeah, geez, I didn't notice it. Like when unless you look at it closely, you don't notice it. And then I picked up this one. I think this was one that Lyle told me about. I thought it was a really great cover.
That's
This
pretty. I
it's
like
like
the artwork.
Phantom Detective, and I got it for like it says like $25 on it. I paid 10. I got it really cheap. But it's this really cool cover. Like she's like handcuffed to this guy with like these claw-like hands. Isn't that weird?
It's not a recreation cover, right?
Yeah, wait, I'm gonna unmute Steppo. Sorry, Steppo.
You all paranoid now.
I feel bad about Steppo. Okay, so those are some of the pulps. I got about 20 pulps in this unboxing. How did the shackle woman get a pistol? Awesome cover. Yeah, I thought so too. I don't like. It's almost like she's like I don't know. If she's been kidnapped by that guy or what the deal is. But yeah, she got a pistol. That was from 1934 or something like that. It's like really, something like that. Or 1938. 1938. And then I got one of my Miss Masks covers. I've been trying to get every Miss Mask cover.
Very cool.
Yeah. So this is actually the last in the series. This is America's Best Comics, and this is Alex Schomburg cover. And he actually he wrote his full name on it, which is interesting. Usually you just see
Zila or
yeah, Zila or something like that. So you know,
No,
he's got.
he wrote. No, he did.
I
He
know
wrote.
I know he did write his full name a few times, but I'm just saying it's interesting to see his full name.
Right.
But yeah, so I believe that's from 1947, and then we got another one that I was picking up. This is Little Jinx #1. Thought it, fairly nice copy.
Cute.
And then yeah,
An Archie book.
Yeah, Archie book. And I actually picked up her first appearance, which is in the unboxing too. And I figure I should show one big book in this. This is one of the bigger books that I picked up in the collection. And this one, I'll just take it out of the thing. I'm not sure if you're familiar with this one.
I sure am.
Oh yeah, yeah. That's a great
So
one.
this is Detective 122, and it's the first cover appearance of Catwoman. Now this one is
Very nice.
complete, but it is a mangled spine. You can see the spine is just shot. So, but it is a book that I've been really trying to find. So this would be considered a 0.5, not because it's incomplete, but because the spine is just like, there's just not much left to the spine. You can see on the back as well. So I negotiate, like, even in a 0.5, this book goes for about $1,800. I got
That's
the guy.
insane. That is insane.
It is insane. I actually got the guy down to $800, so I was quite happy about it.
Well, the cover presents very nice. The colors are
Yeah,
beautiful.
that's what I was really going for. So, and the fact that it is complete is really nice for me. So one of the things that I was actually thinking about this is one I'd like to send off to Jerry the Jitterbug or somebody like that, where they could
Leaf casting.
do some leaf casting,
Restoration.
get it restored. Yeah. Well,
Conserved,
conserved
please.
actually. But I think this would look amazing slabbed. So yeah, I was quite happy to get that. So those are just a handful of the more than, like, I got about over 200 books in the collection of books that I got in those big boxes. So
That is that I've looked at that Catwoman cover
mhm.
3 or 4 times. And because I think it's I like that. I like the test tube. I like the one with all the women in tubes too.
So the one with the page turner, that is the first cover appearance of Catwoman in Batman title.
In Batman, this is in Detective.
This is in Detective, and it's earlier. This is earlier. I have both, but this is the earlier first appearance. If that makes sense.
The ones with where she's there, and it's sort of a lighter yellow cover, and there are all these women in the back in these glass.
I know. I love that one too.
I've looked at that one, and I've looked at the one that you just showed, and the prices for the grades in order to get those, I can't bring myself to do it. I've extricated all my books to show.
Okay, so I'll let you go big, and there you go.
There he is. There's you can see the dross behind me.
Oh yeah, that's normally my situation.
This is a David Nakayama. This is one of the moderns that I just got.
I got the trade dress version of that one.
It's the hypo right in the neck.
I know, it's a great cover. That actually has sort of the golden age feel to it.
Very much so.
Yep.
But his expression on her face there, I think it's just wonderful. And everything else too.
Yeah.
So at the place that shall not be named, I was shopping through, and they had one of their, every so often what they'll do is they'll just have a whole run of books all at one time of different titles that they'll run. And these were all in nice shape and not terribly expensive. So I just went add to cart, 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 pay. So here we go. These are this is Betty and Veronica number 82.
Very nice.
Oh yes, Yeah,
Does you
you were
mean you're
showing me
still
those
collecting
ones.
autographs? And so there she's got Elvis's shoe, Chubby Checker's hat, Fabian's sock, Bobby V. See, now you got to be in the 60s from Dion and Bobby Rydell. And it's
Okay.
so it's interesting that Ronnie has the autograph book and Betty is tearing stuff off of them. That cool?
Yeah, that
That's
is cool.
That's that's definitely a time capsule. This one I thought all of these are like in the fine, very fine grade, which for Archie books of any description is a high grade. This is Betty and Veronica 67, and I think it's just real cute. And then again, another time capsule. She has a Jacqueline Kennedy hairstyle.
Oh yes, that's really cool.
It's a 10 center.
And it also has that collar that they like. That was really popular on the dresses. That white collar.
Yeah.
I remember seeing that, like 60s style.
Isn't that fun?
Yeah, it's very nice.
Very nice. Very nice.
And here are the girls. This one's is a little bit rougher, but I like the concept. She says she's fishing. Betty says, "Where are those worms, Ronnie?" And she says, "They just went for more bait."
I love it. I love
Isn't
it.
that fun?
That's cute.
And they're both going, "What?" And this one is just so fun. This is Betty and Veronica number 70. This is a 10 center.
Oh yeah.
Hi,
the
Ron.
dinosaur one.
What's new?
That's in my shopping cart right now, actually.
And then things get where they're sort of, this is sort of a little bit more risque.
Oh yes, I showed that one in one of my unboxings.
No, you
That's a
didn't.
good- Yes, I
No, you
did.
didn't. No, you didn't.
I had that first. It's sad that some people try to keep up with you. It's so sad.
Now, Judo Man, I don't make me do this, okay?
That's a good one though.
Archie, I didn't know you could play the guitar. He says, "Who plays it? I use it to beat the boys away from Veronica."
Mm. She looks really cute.
Yes.
Mm.
She has the Lolita glasses, and then she has the frill on her bikini.
That's really nice.
This is all just one buy. Here's another one. This is what they call a VG Fine. And Archie is watching television with a good-looking frail. He says, "What she got that we haven't? A TV set, a bikini, and Archie." Isn't that fun?
That's great.
That's my style, okay? That's my thing. That's
I know, it's your tell. He said, that's sort of like the filing it away for future reference. And this one says, Ronnie says, "Betty, I wouldn't dream of coming to the beach on this miserable day." And Betty says, what do you ever mean, Ronnie? It's the best day I've seen all year." Now, you want to know how old this is? Do you see the dark-haired guy sitting down in the front and the little radio, the transistor radio? See, back in crude Flint days, everybody, one of the first things was a rite of passage. One of the first things you did was you bought a transistor radio. And I actually was at an antique store. I'm going to keep going. At an antique store, and I bought several transistor radios because they had them. They were perfect. They worked. And no one gives a damn about transistor. But then how many transistors do you have? Oh, I've got an 8 transistor radio. I got a 10. I have a 10 transistor radio. You know, and then what they do is they had a plug-in, a bayonet plug that went into it, and you had a little earpiece, and you would stick it over one, put it in your ear, and it had the thing. and no matter what you did, the little rubbery piece that went into your ear would always get all gunky and everything. It was the sound coming out of that little earpiece, and it never really fit on your head. It never fit over your ear. It was just, and it would basically cut the back of your ear.
Oh my goodness.
So, and so you never, and then they had like a vinyl case to put them in, and if you open it up too many times, by then where the snap would just go think, and then the whole thing's flapping and it wouldn't work anymore. This will look familiar to you, Alan. This is Pep Comics numbers 168 from 1964.
Oh yes, I just got that yesterday.
Archie, what's the hardest part about learning to skate? The ice.
Yeah.
Did you just post that one? One of you guys posted that on.
Alan did. I just opened this up. I didn't have a chance to. He heard I was going to do it, so he rushed. He didn't even have the book yet. He just took a picture. He didn't even take a picture of it. He just took the one that they gave him, and then he put it up there first.
That's what I do. That's my thing. That's my stuff.
Stephen's tears.
Stephen's tears. There you go.
He's just jealous. That's all.
Alan's going, yeah, Stephen's tears. I love it. Okay, so now that's that buy of Archie's. I just actually bought when Brian was down yesterday. We went out after I was pummeled into submission with Zombie Tramp, and then bent over to get that Hawkman away. We went out.
Oh, come on now. You got to be honest with people. You ask him how I deal with you. I'm always like, Stephen, what keys do you have doubles of? And I'm never trying to be mean about it. I'm always nice.
I don't want doubles. I want the only copy you have, and I want the best one.
Stephen's tears.
He starts yelling and screaming. So I had 7 auctions going on eBay, 7. From the same vendor, all Archies, and all of them really, truly Grail Archies. Very, very good girl, soft good girl, spicy good girl covers. And several of which I'd missed out on, at least 3 of them I'd missed out on before. And I made it my mission to get them. I didn't mess around. I said, I will be buying these books, and I'll be curious what the market says. And I made sure that I had a high enough reserve that it weren't, and a matter of fact, if they got past my reserve, I said, well, then in that case, you're welcome to it, because I had a high reserve. One of which was a book that I got when it was lousy. It came up from Mexico, of all places, and it was just trash. It didn't look like the picture at all. And it was a big mess, and I still kept it, but I hate it. I couldn't even look at it. And I got another copy that's very nice. And I was telling Brian as it was going, it was sitting at about $165, $185, and it was sitting and sitting. And I said, you watch, this is going to go to this will go over $325.
You nailed it. You said this will go to $325, and it went exactly.
I knew that someone was going to come in at $310 or $315, so I put 3 1/4. Actually, I had $375 on it, because I knew that someone would go up to at least $325. And so, and I said, look, and he goes, my God, how did you know? Because that book, and you'll be seeing it when I get it. It's the guys, actually, they're in the mail to me already. The guy was real good. So back to the store that shall not be named. Secret Romances from Superior Comics in Toronto, Canada is a very, very good company to buy from. They actually use the packager, the Eiger House of Art, much the same as Fiction House and Fox Features Syndicate. And a lot of their good girl stuff, and they're the Canadian versions, so you don't really see them as much. But this is the one I just got. Isn't that a pip?
Beautiful. Love the colors on that. Very nice.
So, I mean, that looks so similar style-wise as Love and Marriage.
It has that look to it, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's another title that they also did, so that's why. Because I have it right in front of me. It's like, maybe I'll show that. 1 second.
Show it.
One
okay,
second.
Listen, I have one.
No, show your book. Keep your book up.
Well, no. Okay, I'll show.
Yeah, but my point is, this is also from the recent unboxing.
Well, I have that one too. I have that one too. But you know what? Yours is not as blue as mine, actually. Alan?
Yeah. Yeah, I know. It's sort of. This was the one that you passed up on my comic shop.
Well, I was trying to be nice to you.
Uh,
I
he didn't
got
want
my.
to steal it from your cart.
But I really like this one. This one's got the come hither look to it. So I like it.
I will try to extricate. Wait a minute. Let me just hold on to that.
Oh, you got yours?
So while he's doing that, I found a book that you said you were interested in, Alan. I'm gonna put it in your pile of things that you're interested in.
Oh, is that that's the first Uncle Ben?
Prototype Uncle Ben and Aunt May. Yep.
All right,
So I'm gonna
cool.
put
I'm
that in the pile of
definitely
stuff you're
interested in
interested
that.
in.
And what good did Uncle Ben? Now show your book, and I'll put mine up next to you. See?
Oh yeah, yeah. Mine looks more bluish, like teal.
Yours basically has been exposed to the sun.
Stevens has more of a teal color to it, and yours looks a little oxidized.
Yeah, oxidized. That's it. Still a great cover. This one I got from David Alexander.
Beautiful books, both of them. So, I mean,
yeah, I mean it's cool. I think it looks better with a bit of that oxidization. I don't know.
Well, I figured that. That's why I wanted you to have it, Alan.
I love it. I love it.
Now I'm going to go.
I used to do that all the time, and my wife. I'm Native American, by the way, so I can say this. My wife would go, "What's that, Big Chief?" That's what I saw. I would always go.
Do that little pencil thing. Yeah.
So that's cool. So now you've seen my Archies, and now this is
I'll
the
make
one.
it big again.
Okay, this one, this book has eluded me since 1960. Basically, it came out actually not 1960, 1967, and I've always wanted to get a copy of this. And then it got expensive, and then it got more expensive, and then it got really expensive. And so I said, well, I'm going to do other stuff until, I mean, I'm that money. I'm going to go after Schomburg, or I'll go after something else. I'll go after Secret Romances or something. I'm not going to pay that much. But this time, Alan was talking about it, and some other people were talking about it, and there was some buzz about it. And I finally decided to pull the trigger, and I basically stepped up. I haggled the best I could, and then still this thing was well over $2,000. And this is Space Ghost #1 in a 9.2.
That's beautiful.
Is that like it? Does that book have a 9.8?
I don't know. And here is the back cover. This is a 9.2 off-white.
I mean, that book is hard to get in any grade.
I mentioned to Ryan at Automatics, and he hit me right back. He says, "You don't see that book in those grades at all. You just don't."
Yeah, it's a beautiful book.
And this is the slab that is in it. That it's in is a brand spanking new slab. This just came back from CGC, which means
hot off the presses.
Thanks, Matt. Yeah. That with the thank you, Karen. A lot of the tougher grading regimen that's going on, this thing looks better than a 9.2 to my eye.
I bet if you send it in a year's time, it'll get like a 9.4 or something like that.
This looks 9.4 or 9.6 because there's nothing wrong with it. Literally nothing.
So, Alan, do you have the first? So, Stephen and I were talking about some of our favorite characters from Hanna-Barbera back then. And do you have the first Herculoids?
No, I don't.
That was like one of my favorite cartoons back in the day.
What is it? But maybe I do. Is it ABC of Comics? Is it that one that has?
It's like got multiple characters in it. Yeah, I think it's got multiple characters in the same book.
Not ABC. I know what you're talking about, Alan. No, the Herculoids were a standalone series.
No, but what comic was it in?
I think it was just Adele, wasn't it, Brian?
I don't know. Let me take a look and see if I can find it here on, or one of the people in the chat will probably beat me to it. But I'm going to look on Key Collector.
Hey, Brian, if you could look up Space Ghost #1, this is the only issue too. Oh, thank you very much. This the new slabs have this. you can feel the ribs on it are quite strong, and it gives more space between. In other words, it has the front of the slab is recessed slightly, so that if you stack the books and you're right on the nose on the edges, then it won't touch it. But of course, if you have a Mylar on it, which you do, then you won't run into that problem anyway. I
Hanna-Barbera TV, Hanna-Barbera Super TV Heroes #1
I
is the
might
book.
have that. I might
So it
have.
has first
That's-
Birdman, Herculoids, it has Moby Dick,
Oh, I have
Mighty,
that.
so it was
Mighty,
a cattle call. It was a cattle call cover then book.
Yeah,
yeah,
I have that
and
one. One sec here. Let me look for it.
I think I saw that you had that one, Alan.
Yeah, I do have it.
young
I have the
young
first
Samson and
Birdman.
Goliath and the mighty
I never liked young
Megador.
Samson and Goliath. I thought that was budget.
It does have some pretty good. I mean, Birdman and Herculoids.
Birdman was good. But
Yeah, and
out of-
Mighty Magnor.
that's
Yeah.
the caveman with the club, isn't it? In the cave.
He's got
No,
like
that's
horns and a
Captain
green
Caveman.
cowl, kind of green.
That's
Yeah, but
Captain
he's a
Caveman.
caveman, isn't he? Who is the caveman with the club?
That's
Captain
Captain
Caveman?
Caveman. Captain Caveman.
No. That was the spoof. There was one that had a mask with horns and a.
Oh, that might be Magnor then.
I think it's
Mightor. Mighty Mightor. And you wanted me to look up Space Ghost, Stephen, and see what they said for first appearance?
No. Well, I think that is first appearance. But what I would, or please, but find out
Well,
what
that is the
top
first.
grade.
No, Space Ghost is Space Ghost's first appearance.
So Space
Okay.
Ghost 1, which is, and that's the only issue. Space Ghost 1. There's more Space Ghost, but this is the first. This is the one.
So his second appearance is in that same series, that with the Herculoids, a cattle call cover.
Space Ghost.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, they gave him a standalone. I'll tell you, I watched those cartoons all the time, and that was an evening cartoon. Space Ghost was, and I always thought that I never knew how his gauntlets had the power, how long they would work, and you never knew exactly what kind of a ray would be coming out. I mean, someone probably knows what the types of different. My pile driver ray, and he puts the button, and the thing's hammering on it and stuff like that. But how he was able to fly, how many different rays did he have? How long did they last? What was his strength level? And they never were, and then of course he had, was it Jason Jan? Where the two was the
Yeah, and the monkey, right?
Tim Matt, and what was the name of the monkey in Space Ghost?
You're quizzing me. Let me see. Monkey and Space Ghost. His name was Big B McFly.
That's fun.
Blip. His name was Blip.
Blip.
I'm not okay. So I found a different one. I found Dynamite's first Blue Falcon.
Yeah, he's another great character. I liked him.
My dad loved that. The Dynamite Blue Falcon would always say, "Come on, Dynamite," and okay, Blue Falcon. My father just got that was a hoot. That was when my youngest brother was watching cartoons. Mom and Dad had sort of a hiatus. My sister was born in 51. I was born in 53. My brother was born in 55. And then my youngest brother was born in 66. And
what happened in 65? Something happened in 65.
Something happened in 65. He says, all of a sudden, he says everything still works here. And it's interesting, the Space Ghost's handle is protector of the universe. Fists packed with electronic force, incredible speed, the unique gift of invisibility. So he had invisibility. I know, with my Inviso Ray. And was it Don Messick that was the voice of Space Ghost, or was it the same guy as Ray Spanning? Rex Rhodes, or whatever his name was, Red Rhodes, or whatever.
Oh, good night,
Karen is
Karen.
saying that she had a good time and have a good night, everyone.
Thank you,
She said
Karen.
dinner's almost ready. So
Okay,
good to have you here.
so you made me now. I pulled out a bunch of books that I'm going to show. Because
We've gone in the
I was
Hanna-Barbera
trying to find.
rabbit hole.
I was trying to
And you
find
found
that one.
every single one that you wanted except the one specifically you
Except for
wanted. Am I
Hercules.
correct?
I don't have that one. I don't think I have it. So,
Okay.
yeah, I'll show you what I have, and we can figure out whose first appearances are in this. So this is Quick Draw McGraw.
That's going to be the
And-
first appearance of Quick Draw McGraw.
Yes, it is.
And who is his psychic? And who is his psychic, Alan?
I don't know. I want to say Babu or something like that. I don't know.
Baba
think-
Louie. Baba Louie.
Baba
He
Louie.
he was Mexican, and so he would say, "Hey, Queenstra, I think the villains are getting away." And he says, "Oh, do all the thinning around here."
No, this is not Quick Draw's first appearance. This is first Snagglepuss.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and actually, yeah, I actually corrected myself too. Biggie noticed it too. Yes, that's the first.
So-
This is first Snagglepuss.
Anna
But
Panda, did a kid get a hold of your phone?
This is the first Quick Draw McGraw. So we got it. It was the wrong order, but okay. And then we got Hanna-Barbera Parade, and this has a bunch of first appearances in it. I forgot who, but yeah, has a bunch of first appearances in it.
What's the first appearance of the Flintstones?
It is in Flintstones. The Goober book. I don't even know where the Goober book is. I have to find it again. And then we got Wacky.
We can always
Races.
make another one.
Did you see my Goober book?
No, I'm sorry. I'm being base. I'm being eighth grade. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
Okay, so this is Wacky Races.
Wacky Races.
I loved Wacky Races as a kid. I thought it was great. And then we got Fun In with Dastardly and Muddy. This is the first appearance of Penelope Pitstop.
Muttley.
Muttley, I meant. Muttley, sorry.
With the wheezy laugh.
Yeah, he always...
Snidely and Muttley or something?
I can't really do it enough. But yeah, I know. Yeah, he was awesome.
Snidely Whiplash, right?
No, Dick Dastardly.
Dick
Dastardly. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we got...
And then we got...
Both great names.
And this is the first appearance of Dynomutt and the Falcon.
Blue Falcon?
Blue Falcon, yeah.
That's right. He called him Dog Wonder. Come along, Dog Wonder.
Dog Wonder is all wound up in his work. So yeah. I actually think, I'm not sure if it's this one or no, I think it's a different one. I think it's this one. This is the first Scooby-Doo
crossover.
Not crossover, but first Scooby-Doo in Marvel, I believe.
Oh, okay. There you
go. So yeah, so originally Scooby-Doo.
Because the other one's Gold Key, right?
Key, yeah, Gold Key. But it's either this one or the Dynomutt one that has the first appearance of this Sharky dude.
Jabberjaws.
Yeah, Jabberjaws. Yeah. Thank you.
Yeah.
So yeah, and then Rocky and Bullwinkle. But I don't think this is Rocky and Bullwinkle's first appearance. This is just one.
No.
I think this is the one I had as a kid. This is my copy of Rocky and Bullwinkle from when I was a kid. I actually have Rocky
and Bullwinkle, and then you got who are the other characters there?
Oh, Peabody and Sherman at the bottom here.
And who's the Mountie?
The Mountie is Dudley Do-Right.
Dudley Do-Right. All right.
Dudley Do-Right. Yeah. So yeah, but yeah, that was a copy from when I was a kid. Actually, this was my brother's book. I stole it from my brother. So yeah.
The truth comes up. You and Mr. Akins have something in common.
I stole all my brother's. I stole his coin collection. I stole his comic collection. This is my confession. Actually, it was funny. I actually earned them. I actually have a funny story about how I got my brother's comic and coin collection. He was doing a science fair experiment with where he had to collect bugs, and he said, if you collect a whole bunch of bugs for me, I'll just give you he didn't really have like an attachment to his comics or things, so I was like, okay, I'll get a whole bunch of bugs for you. I was collecting spiders and all this stuff, and he gave me all the comics and stuff. So it worked out really well for me. I did really well.
Nice.
On
nice.
that Bullwinkle and Rocky,
Mhm.
that was Bullwinkle and Rocky because that was from the time when they had the Bullwinkle show. And
Yes.
the Bullwinkle show was the one that had Dudley Do-Right of the Mounties. And what was his superior's name, Alan?
I don't remember.
Inspector Fenwick.
Okay.
And what was the name of his
names?
and what was the name of his girlfriend?
Well, I don't know.
Nell.
Oh,
Did you
Chris.
watch the cartoons?
I did. I just terrible with names. First Chipmunks.
Did
Alvin,
somebody black their eyes out?
No, that's how they were. That's the original look for them.
Are they supposed to be like their eyes closed? Maybe I don't know.
Maybe.
Well,
Maybe
they're just jamming so hard that they had to
Yeah,
just
they're
close
jamming
their
so
eyes,
hard.
Brian.
One
Yep,
second.
that's it.
I'm trying to find something. One sec here. One sec.
I'm
Just
really
keep on talking.
thrilled with that Space Ghost. I love that book.
That
Brian,
is a cool book.
Could you look to see what the top grade is? If there's a 9.8?
I don't have access to
Okay, I can. I actually
census from where I'm at.
I can do it. I can do it here.
Sorry, buddy.
No, that's all right. Hell,
Here it is. This is the first Rocky and Bullwinkle.
that is correct.
So
There you
yeah,
go.
I knew it had it. I just
Those are the ones that I brag about. Those you never see those in nice shape. And I got the file copies of all the first 15 or 20 appearances of Rocky and Bullwinkle in all the different titles that they had. All of them.
yeah, this one's really beat.
Very
actually.
cool.
I'd say it's like a 3.
But it's really rare. It's very, very rare to. All right, I will go collect.
From 1960. Rocky and Bullwinkle.
Yeah. Space Ghost actually is copyrighted on the cover 1966, but it came out in 1960. They show that it's 67. There is 198. There are 3 9.6s, 3 9.4s. Oh my God, and 15 9.2s. So that's mine's 9.2. So if
and how
you
many
want
on the census?
Total on the census is 291, 295 total, 291 universals.
So that's actually rarer than Batman 1.
Yes, it is. Because
So it
Batman
should
1 is
be-
305, isn't it?
It should be a more valuable book than Batman 1 based on that logic.
Well,
That's tricky.
I saw a restored 2.0 or 2.5 or something that purported to have Bob Kane's signature on the cover, and they wanted $200,000.
Space Ghost 9.2 sold for $1,300 in 2021.
I paid $2,300 for that
So
book,
he almost
and I
doubled.
talked him down from $26.95, and he wouldn't budge. And I wanted the book because I knew I wasn't going to ever see another one. Now I will because I bought it. They'll be coming out of the woodwork.
Yeah, you'll
actually,
see them everywhere.
that's the sad thing. You set the record price, and then all of a sudden, everyone's like, "Oh, I gotta sell it now." It's like, and then it's like,
I know. I wish I could figure a way, but of course, Alan, you've done that too, haven't you? You
I got
what's that, Power Comics or whatever it was?
Oh, the worst one was it was Catman. The Catman with the where he's like the big head, and then they're like fighting. There's the candle, and they're like kind of coming up to him.
It's a great cover,
Yeah. I way overpaid for that. I like, and because it was just you never see it, and then all of a sudden,
then you saw it,
and then a whole bunch of copies. I'm like, oh, okay. I guess I brought.
Well, didn't you have that Power comic where the guys has all the Allied flags on him, the blue one?
Yeah, but I got that for a good price.
Okay,
that one's still pretty rare, isn't it? I mean, it's
that's
not.
A rare. That's an LB Cole, isn't it?
That's LB. It's not LB Cole, but it's one of the ones that was in the Gerber guide as just a blank because they couldn't find it.
Oh yeah, they unpictured. Yeah.
Yeah, that one I got it for a good price, and then there was an auction afterwards for that one where it went for 2 or 3 times what I paid. So I was like, oh, okay.
Isn't that strange? Because I remembered you telling me that you had got that one, And
Yeah,
then you saw 2 more that came out that were higher grade and less expensive than that book.
that was
That's
the
what I
Catman. No, that was the Catman that I
okay.
was referring to.
I'm
Yeah,
not
the
trying to
Catman
bring
was
up
brilliant.
painful memories. That's a
No, that the
crappy thing to
Catman.
do.
I actually
I
I actually
apologize.
Alan's
That was rough.
tears.
I usually have
No,
the
that's not
Catman
fair.
displayed, but
I'm
I
sorry.
don't.
That's wrong.
Yeah, yeah. The Catman I did overpay, but it's so sad.
But you know,
But
there
it's
are
a nice looking
times
copy.
but there are times when you say, and I know I paid up. I mean, it was I'm at
Mhm.
guide. I mean, I'm right around guide. I mean, I didn't get a great deal, but I got a fair-ish deal.
Fairish,
And
yeah.
when you're dealing with books that are of very very low census, and I mean as far as numbers of copies that are available, you have to be careful.
So 4 or 5 for 350
Space
Australian dollars.
Ghost 1 Aussie,
Yeah. So that would be pretty cheap. That'd be around
275.
275 ish. Yeah,
Yeah, because the Australian dollar
like 70 something cents. Yeah,
is it as bad as the Canadian dollar, or is
it's
there anything worse?
slightly worse than the Canadian dollar. Slightly
Is
worse.
that possible?
I know it's hard to believe that something could be worse than the Canadian dollar, but there are
Yeah,
things
this
worse
is
than
my
the
friend
Canadian.
Steve Gentner. Would you like to put some lemon juice in this paper cut?
Yeah,
Thank you
yeah,
very much. That would really appreciate that. Can we rub a little salt in that, please?
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Gosh, I can't understand why Alan doesn't want to see me anymore. Remember
Yeah,
that
yeah.
time? Remember that time, Alan? Remember when you told me that story? Remember that one?
So how
No, I
you
don't.
can always come to Canada. I need I already prepared your grave. It should be good. It should be good.
Your
Oh,
grave? Oh my goodness.
oh, that
God.
is dark.
Dark.
Well,
Oh
just
well.
cover my body with maple syrup and we'll
Maple
call it
syrup.
good.
Yeah,
And the bugs will eat me, right? You know.
it'll be fun.
They're
Um,
pouring the maple syrup on his head.
yeah. So
There you
yeah,
go.
the Australian dollar is floating at 67 cents. Yeah,
Oh
the
God.
Canadian dollar is around 73 or so. So it's like as bad. Like yeah,
What's the pound now? Is it a buck and a quarter?
yeah. It's a little yeah. It's around that. It was parity at one point, which is so
Yeah,
crazy.
they were just getting killed. And the euro is worth a little bit more. It's like a buck and a quarter.
Usually a buck, maybe a buck 40, I think.
Buck 40?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think.
Did you guys lament or celebrate the conclusion of your epic battle?
Oh, we
Oh, you
already,
mean the C4?
Yes.
yeah. So
I
Steven's
congratulated
already said that he totally cheated and he
Oh
apologizes for having
gosh,
to
don't go
team
there.
in. But
Tommy, we have a job to do.
but I've forgiven him, so don't worry, don't worry.
He's forgiven me.
I thought
What?
that the
What
Ricky's
largesse?
overdub was hilarious when he overdubbed your guys' voices today.
Yeah, I thought it worked for me better because I'm doing like this kung fu-y kind of thing. And
Right? It was
it's like
hilarious.
so
It's like a
Yeah.
appropriate.
foreign movie. I know what
Yeah.
you think that I you know, because it doesn't fit. It
It was
Yeah.
never
just
fits.
something like,
I wish
I have not stopped crying since
Mm.
I have not stopped crying since Ricky told me I lost.
I loved it where you said you climbing stairs carrying buckets of water. That's from the movie Mulan. I mean, if
Yeah.
you that's where
Yeah,
he
yeah,
taught that.
of course.
And
Yeah.
then stealing bells off dummies and ladies fear his 1-inch punch. I
Yeah.
thought that was great.
Yeah, it's cute. Yeah. So I actually commented on the video. I said, you know, I'll stop crying someday, after years of therapy and it's like I should be
I
You'll
okay.
get a rematch with somebody else who
sure you'll go
when
up
they're
against
around. So.
Colossus Collector or what was the name of the gal from the Wizard
Colossus.
Beat?
Travis and was it
You'll go up
Sanjay,
against
Jackpot.
Jackpot Comics, yeah, or who
or
was
you
Mr.
can go up
Akins was
against
up
the Rat.
against?
You can go up
Yeah,
against
the
the
Rat. You
Rat.
go up against the Rat.
Woo!
Mhm.
I'll tell you what, watching Mr. Akins,
Yeah.
and he seemed so calm
So
and
passionate.
unassuming. And then he just took the wraps off. He had the wraps on, but he took the wraps off, and really he channeled his Alabama wrestler, and he really is and he had the Mexican wrestling mask on. I mean, the guy just went, he's all wrapped up. I thought he was so good. You
Mm.
know, I'm old. I'm gonna go there. I'm going. The roller coaster. I'm going
Riding
down.
it all the way down.
I'm going all the way down. I mean, it was just a big song gospel, the gospel according to Mr. Akins. It was great.
It was great.
I didn't,
Yeah.
s- I
I
didn't
think
see,
everybody's done a great job. Everybody's done
Yeah, I
amazing.
know
So,
it was fun. It was fun.
I didn't think that 35 Cents performance
It
was
was
as inspired as The Rack by any stretch. But watching The Rack, watching Mr. Akins, it
mhm.
really said, okay, it's time to get crazy. And I said, I'm taking that to heart. He broke the ice for me on that one.
Yeah,
that would be
actually,
that's I think Mr. Akins and Alan with the way you guys get into your characters would be great.
yeah. So you know what's funny? I thought Colossus had the best performance of anybody. Of anybody.
Well, he did a great job. He had the
He
lighting
did.
and
He had
he
the
had the
lighting, he had
camera
the whole thing
angles,
going
he had
on.
the hat and everything, and he had the voice like this. You have
Mm.
won, but you have not won. What do I mean? I don't know. You know, tune in
Darkness
and
will
find
always
out.
overtake light.
Mm. So yeah, I mean
Oh,
it
thanks,
was
Matt.
yeah, thank you, Matt. So yeah, I mean it was fun. It was a good round. I
Marching,
think
marching, marching. I'm marching all the time. What does it mean? Bohica. No one knows.
yeah, that was good. That was
Grammy. You know.
I think that's
Well, we
that
do
that
know, thanks
line
to you.
actually.
You told us what it'd be.
So that one I really did feel like you should have won that round. That because even though I showed the bigger book, but you actually had the more relevant book for that one.
Oh, the Tales of
The
Suspense
marching, the
39 or
marching,
Tales
yeah,
of
yeah,
Astonish 39
yeah. That was a good choice.
with the
It was
Scarlet
close. It
People.
was close on a lot of those. You guys were really close.
Well, the
So I
first
mean,
3 days, Alan had me. The
Yeah,
first
I
three
was
days,
I was
I was tuck
winning
and
for,
win.
and then it flipped. All the
mhm.
mail-in ballots
Then all
came
the
in.
people I paid, no, I was telling Alan. Then American Samoa, Tierra
Mm,
del Fuego vote came in.
mm.
All
Mindanao,
the ballots of the dead people came in.
Yeah, yeah. It
Calvin
was weird.
Coolidge.
No,
Coolidge voted for Gentner again. Again.
it was weird how that
I
happened.
love it. I love
I think it's because
it.
you channeled your inner zombie tramp, and you got all those kind of dead votes to come
I've
in.
said I've said several times that is that
Mhm,
to be turned into a crazed warmonger.
mhm.
And Alan says, how were you able to don that personality? And I said, well, it really wasn't much of a stretch
It was a,
I love it. Yeah.
yeah, it
because
was
I'm the
good.
I put on the ugly American and the bellicose
Mhm,
warmonger thing, and with this the tropes and the stereotypes that the media like to put. They always have like if a gun owner and it's some guy that has lots of his teeth missing
mhm.
and he's a rugged individualist. He
Yeah,
doesn't
yeah.
smell very good, and he's got a rusted out van down by the river. Yeah, I got my machine gun in the back of the van here, just shooting in the water. This is a very usual gun collector, and I can't talk about guns anymore because I broke
Yeah,
the
did
internet
you hear about that,
yesterday
PP?
with Bleaker
Yeah.
with
I
shirts.
showed up. Right as I showed up, Steven's like, I just got
He
I
broke
just
the
Bleeker
broke
internet.
the
canceled.
internet.
He
I
broke
broke
the
the
Yeah.
internet.
internet. But he's back.
Yeah.
He's back. He's got live stream capability right now.
Oh, good, good. I
Yeah.
mean, I thought that
He
was
already
like
did a live stream, so he's back. So they banned him for a day. He thought it was going to be a week,
a week.
but
Yeah.
it's because in a live stream you can't show a firearm because there were instances where a live firearm and someone killed
Oh,
somebody or themselves because they
Oh.
wanted to make a
oh,
statement. And so anytime you see a gun in a live stream, they instantly pull the plug. I do understand that
that actually
because
makes sense. Okay, I can kind of forgive them for
so I mean,
Big
and it
Brother
makes perfect sense that they now, of course, all I was doing was I was giving the
and
history of it. I
history.
was
Yeah,
explaining.
Well, they have AI also watching these live streams too, so it monitors what's being said and what's been going on. And so there
Oh,
was a lot of, I guess, a lot of weaponry talk and stuff going on there, right? And
yeah,
so
yeah,
they
yeah.
just kind of went
Okay,
yoink.
I can understand that. I'll forgive YouTube for that one then.
I think that
Yeah.
it makes sense because I did hear about that where
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. No, you hear
someone
about
posted
people
themselves. They wanted to
being
make a
suicidal
statement
times.
that they says that I'm going out. I want you all to know I'm going out, and boom. And then
Mm.
it quickly as they could, and before they could get it down, I mean, can't remember how many thousands of people saw it. and then
Right.
they pulled it down. So rather than allow that to happen, and I agree with them on
You know,
that,
it'd be
for
funny.
some poor soul.
You know, like the Oscars, how they have like that 5-second delay.
Yes.
They should almost do that with YouTube, where they do the
Well, there is
5-second
that
delay.
delay. There is a delay
It needs to be more like
between.
a couple of minutes. It should be more like a couple of minutes.
Yeah,
No,
because
Because if
when I'm
something bad
watching
is
with you
going down,
guys, depending if my internet's bad, it'll freeze on you guys. It's right now today it's good, but it'll freeze, and so I have to watch you guys on the computer down below, and it's like 15, 20 seconds behind.
okay.
okay.
Yeah.
So maybe
Because
they
you guys
do
will show a
that in
book,
order
and
to
I'm like,
protect.
I'll be looking at, oh, that you've already started to move on to the next book. Oh, that's so cool.
Yeah.
So did
Yeah.
YouTube censor when Steven literally punched me in the face, and it was like, oh, he's brutal.
That I didn't see that version.
it's really brutal.
I did. I think I may post something though, because I was looking through my videos. I was trying to find a video of a car, and Susan shot a first version of me doing my 30-second,
Oh,
where
okay.
I was handling different weapons, and I was making I was making different
Thinking which
comments.
one would be the best one, yeah.
Well, I said I'd like to do one a little bit different, because I was playing with knives, and I was laughing and stuff, So I don't know if I just think that to play to those tropes and to really immerse oneself, Mr. Akins was the one that basically said, "Okay, Gentner, out of the cocoon, embrace your theatrune, and go for it." So
Go for
it
it,
was
yeah.
fun. I
It
enjoyed.
was super
I
fun.
enjoyed.
Yeah.
And Ricky says,
Absolutely.
"I take the responsibility of keeping all of my tapes in perfect order. I never lose anything. I keep them all. And here's our winner now. I won the game. I funny.
Offsy says he's got something there.
Yeah.
Oh,
you're going to be showing a mega
congratulations.
Grail. Oh, Marvel Grail. Oh, that
You
sounds
won't tell us
interesting.
what it is, will you? Now we're going to have to watch.
Well, we have to
Gotta
watch his
wait.
channel.
Is that what you call a tease, Mr. Aussie?
That was a tease
tease.
from the
That's
Aussie collector.
it's an international tease. That sounds like a dirty magazine, doesn't it?
It does.
I have issues 1 through 5 of international tease.
So, by the way, guys, I'm getting paranoid that the wife is
Okay.
Being
finished
very
her
quiet.
dancing.
Okay.
So I think we should wrap it up.
Okay.
Oh,
Well,
wait,
thank you for
wait.
hanging with me.
Ozzy says he can give us a tease if you like. Okay, what's your tease?
What's your
we wrap
tease?
it?
Da, 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 da.
It's what's up front that counts.
Da, 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 da.
Oh, you still didn't say who won. Okay, who you thought would win? Biggie.
Alan won.
Okay.
It's an
It's
Avengers
an
key.
Avengers key. Oh wow. Okay, there's a bunch
Cool.
in there.
Okay, it's the first Captain America.
There's a few in there.
It's number 4.
That's
Well,
your guess.
he's not going to tell you if you're right. You're going to have to wait and see.
My guess is issue 4. That's my guess.
All right,
That is a good key.
I'm going to go with 1 because I think he's like going to get the best of the best.
Well, 4 is pretty good
Number
too.
four,
For a long
Four
time,
is pretty awesome too.
For a long time,
the
4
big-
was
big-
worth more than number 1.
I know 4. So the big ones are 1, 4, 8. I guess would be the other big one.
But
Kang.
Wonder Man?
The King.
No, Kang is number 4. 8.
You know, in the day
Yeah.
when that book came out, when Kang came out, it was a snooze.
Right.
And how did he do in the movie? How did he do in the movie?
Oh, he was terrible though. It was like they didn't really. The problem this is my little rant about Kang. The problem was they never really defined what his powers were.
No.
So you don't really know what the threat is, and when they actually fight with him, he doesn't seem like a threat. So it's like, why are we so scared of this guy?
Poor writing.
Yeah.
It was very, very poor writing. If they would just take the plot from the comic book and make a movie about the comic. I've said this since I was in 1962. Make it
Mhm.
about the comic. Don't mess with it. And that if the people that want to see it want to see what they see.
Yeah, in a way,
No,
I kind of wish they did like a standalone Kang movie, and
they
then
So
could.
show it.
so
Show
I
it.
if you guys go back and you watch the first intro part and you watch the end part,
Okay.
Travis and my theory is that when Ant-Man came back, he did not come back to his own timeline
Oh. Okay.
because everybody reacts differently. Everything is different when he comes back.
I
Oh.
haven't even seen it yet.
But I
Oh,
thought that movie was terrible.
I've got
Sorry.
about a half a dozen
yeah.
Marvel movies that I just have not. I've chosen not to watch.
Well, that's the twist that Travis and we were discussing it, and we go, I
I
think
agree,
that
Matt.
They need to
maybe he
recast it.
didn't come
Yeah.
back to his own timeline. So
Yeah. I mean, I thought the guy that played Kang was a good actor. I just thought it was just boring. I just felt like it wasn't
So
really.
in the Mandalorian, there's that dark-haired guy that had the black sword, and he's going
yeah,
to be Doctor Doom. I think that's great casting. If he's
Oh,
is
Doctor
he
Doom,
going to be
which
Doom?
one?
that's
Which
what
one?
I heard.
I've
Which
heard
guy?
the rumor, but
Which guy, Steven?
Okay, in the Mandalorian, the guy that had the black sword that then the gal wanted to get, and then the Mandalorian got it, and she
The
has to
older
defeat him
guy?
in battle.
He's
he's
like a
The,
bit
also in the
older.
the guy that
boys.
the guy
Yeah,
that killed all the people trying to get to Grogu.
I mean, he seems like a cool guy, but isn't he a bit old?
Well, I mean, I think he'd be a great Doctor Doom. I think he's a great actor, and I think he can pull it off. Well, Doom is all misshapen anyway because his face got blown up when he was
That's
trying to
true.
find his dead mother. That
Yeah.
happened in college. Have you read Fantastic Four number
Yes,
5?
I've
see,
read all of it. I read the
I
first
read
20
that they
issues.
were considering him for Magneto.
Really?
Yeah,
Well,
so
I may
I
be
don't know.
wrong. I may be, of course, these rumors. I mean, I may be all wet on this. Probably the chat knows better than I do.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. Oh, they say this is his name.
That's it.
Giancarlo.
Giancarlo Esposito.
He's
Yeah.
also in the boys. He's the head of
I mean, I think he's a
the
good actor.
corporation.
Don't get me wrong. I just don't. He doesn't seem
Who?
Doctor Doom.
Okay, let me ask you this then, Alan. Who would you like to have? Justin Trudeau?
Yes. Yeah. But
And have him go
I don't.
and after the movie, make him go to Latveria, right?
I don't want to race swap
And never
or
come
gender
back.
swap the character. So yeah, I don't know. With Justin Trudeau, it'd be a race swap or gender swap. I'm not sure which would it be.
Or both.
So he's already Doctor Doom.
He's already and
That's
then
so
the plug
true.
got pulled on Alan
So
And then
Steve.
it says
So
your
true.
video has been pulled. Guidelines.
In Canada, it
What?
gets pulled.
The
So
hook.
I'm just trying to think of who I think of is Doctor Doom. I don't really know, to tell you the truth.
So
I'm thinking like a 30-something-year-old guy. Like I'm thinking that kind
we
of
were
age group.
discussing. I think some of the rumors I've heard is the guy who played Kylo Ren is a possibility.
I
Can't think of his
really don't like him. I
Adam
something about
Driver. Is
him,
that his name? Adam Driver.
Adam Driver. I really
Yeah.
don't like him. I find him so pretentious and annoying. I don't know why. I just don't like the guy.
He'd be a great Doctor Doom, pretentious and annoying.
So he's the guy that died at the end when he was, wrestling with the Ree or Kay or what's her name, the gal.
He
Yeah.
went to the good
that's
side
Kylo.
at the end.
He ends
Yeah.
up
Kylo.
dying and saving her and whatever. I love you,
Yeah,
and
yeah.
then he checks out, takes the helmet off, and
So my theory about that is at the end, when he heals Rey,
Yeah.
he puts his hand on her abdomen when he heals her. We're gonna have Force babies.
Oh no, we're gonna have Force babies? Oh no.
Yeah, because Anakin's a Force baby. So
Oh no. I thought that was one of the more cringy parts of episode 1. That they sort of made him like Jesus, right?
right.
yeah. What
Yeah.
was that? What was that?
That was messed up. I thought that was like, I wish they kind of didn't. I think they realized that it was so cringy that they didn't mention it again after that. You know that. So
Yeah.
Matt says he'd like to see Henry Cavill. I've heard that rumor, but then they said the other rumor I've heard is they don't
Henry
want to
Cavill would
waste.
be cool.
They don't want to cover his face. And the other rumor for Cavill is Captain Britain.
Yeah, I heard Captain Britain as well.
Anything that Cavill, if they put him in there and let the character come, Cavill is a damn good actor and he can pull it off. I mean, it's
Right.
just that simple. If he's Superman, I like him as Superman. I mean, you know, what can I say? I thought he was a damn good Superman.
Yeah, I think he was the perfect Superman, actually. I
Is
think he'd make a good.
Pattinson going to stay Batman? Do we have a second Pattinson Batman coming?
There is
Maybe.
a second
Yeah,
Pattinson
there
Batman
is a
coming,
second
yes.
Pattinson.
But
Yeah.
there's also, he's not going to be, that is a separate timeline from the Justice League stuff. That's a separate universe.
Yeah, it's like all like year 1 and year 2 kind of
And
stuff.
we've also got the Joker movie coming with Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn.
And is it the same guy?
She's beautiful, Lady Gaga.
Is it the same guy playing the Joker too?
What's that? Well, yeah, Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker
Phoenix.
and Lady Gaga as Harley Quinn. Yeah.
Only thing I'm a little bit nervous about that is it going to be a musical? If it's, I know I heard it is a musical, but that makes me a little bit nervous.
Well, when you watch the Joker, it has musical interludes in it. So,
yeah, he does. But if she sings, and because she can,
Sure.
does Joaquin sing? Is
I'm
he
sure
a
he
singer
could.
at
He's
all?
talented as all get out.
Most good actors can do everything. They can sing, dance, and act. They because they're usually trained, right? They have all those skills.
Right.
But you never know. Matt says no. And, yeah, my
Biggie
wife
says
is
your
probably
wife
going to
is
beat me at some
too.
point. So if you hear like this will get this is where the internet gets broken.
The
again.
door will
You see,
creak open behind Alan, and we see.
Yeah, and I wanted you to say,
all of a sudden. So yeah, but
Blow dark.
yeah. Okay, so I should really wrap it up.
Okay.
Thanks, guys. Thank you,
Thank you,
people
everybody.
watching and all those people. And
thank you.
bye, everyone.